Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Mike here at Gamefromscratch, and if you're looking for a free open source alternative to Adobe After Effects, there's not a lot out there, but there is one really cool option we're going to look at today, and it is an application called Friction, available at friction.graphics. Now this one is free and open source. It is for doing motion graphics using both vector and raster graphics. You can make web and video output from this. It is high performance, written with C++, using Skia and Qt behind the scenes. You can do animations for the web like you would back in the Flash days. On top of that, you've got multiple scenes and timelines. You transition between them, expression editor, text effects and path effects, raster and shader effects, and so on. Now, interestingly enough, also, it is available for a number of different environments, specifically being Windows, Mac, and Linux. Now, what you're going to want to do, though, is grab the development release. This one right here. This is very antiquated. This, as you can see, is very close to a 1.0 release. So you're going to want to grab the development version. Right now, it's at release candidate 3. So we're going to take a hands-on with Friction right now. So here you can see this is Friction in action. I'm going to go ahead and create a new scene like so. I'm also going to go back over here and exit so that we're not being distracted by that in the background the entire time. All right, so here you go. This is our scene. You can see the campus in action right there. What I'm going to do is bring in a raster image to use as a background. There you go. So this is the kind of thing you can do. Easy enough. That is how you deal with rasters. Literally drag and drop them into the world. You can also do a variety of things with vectors. For example, text. Here, I go over here to my text area, enter my text. Hello, cruel world. Like so. We can set our color and so on over here. We can then go ahead and position our text accordingly. All kinds of neat things that you can do, vectors and graphics. So we're going to come in here, go back to a raster graphic. Let's bring something else in, some rando mech I downloaded off the interwebs. So there you can see it in action. So they've got new controllers like this here that weren't there before. So placing and rotating things, that is one of the things in the 1.0 release. One thing that I find weirdly lacking, though, is resizing is not obvious. So I actually do it this way. There may be a better way to do things, but right now you come in and you can do it with the scale over here. We'll leave this guy full size like so. And you can see how you might want to use this for animations. Now you see at the bottom here, you have your traditional timeline for animation. Let's say we'll do a 100 frame, actually let's do a 50 frame, no, we'll do 100 frame animation like so. And let's say we wanted to do a shot out of that gun. Well, how would we do that? Well, we could come in here and we could create it as a path like so. And I just start the path, I end the path like so. Boom, there is our laser. I'm fine with a blue laser like so. So let's say I want to go ahead and animate that. Well, what do I do there? Well, I come here, I go to my path, and I right click over here, and I apply a path effect to it and a subpath like so. So now you're going to see I have this path there, and then I have my subpath over here. And what you're going to notice here is we have a minimum and maximum length. Like so. And everything that, with the little dot over here is keyframeable. So let's go back here again. So 100 should have been where it stopped because that's my last frame. So there you go. So I've got my timeline over here. So what I'm going to do is set this down to 0. So then we have basically no laser. And we're going to set that here as a keyframe. So right here, I'm going to just come up here and I'm going to click max length. Boom. We just created a keyframe. You can see it right there. And then let's say somewhere around the 40 mark, I'm going to go there. And then we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to click in here, and we'll create a new keyframe, and we'll make this one 100, like so. So boom, we now have a laser at 100, and then if we track and we go back, there you see it goes down accordingly. So now I can go ahead and play this, and then boom, there is our laser. Now you may find that that might be a little slow for a laser. So what we could actually do, we could just move this keyframe over there. We'll make it twice as fast, and then pew, pew, pew. There is our laser. Going to be much faster. Now, the first time it runs, it's going to be a little on the slow side. It's going to calculate the animation, and then each time you run it subsequently after that, it will do better. So on top of that, we could do a number of other different things to this guy right here. So we could also come in here and live demo, you can tell. Okay, make sure it's not playing. You can also come in and select your path like so. We'll do a right click, and then I could do things like raster effects. So I could do brightness or contrast or colorize it or motion blur or so on. Let's show that in a different view. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to bring another one of these mechs in like so. This guy is, again, a little big, so I'm just going to expand down here. We'll do a transform on that guy, scale, and we will scale that down to, say, half the size. Okay, I'm going to do that in both axes. All All right, there we go. So we got our little guy over here, and then what we're going to do is another simple animation. What you often would do here, so you could actually animate it just literally by going through here, and I could just move it, so I could start at frame 0, translation, and move it around. But what I probably want to do instead is something like a path animation. So I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to create a new path, so draw a path. I'm going to start roughly where he is, and then I'm just going to go around the world, around the world. There we go. So there is our path. Now that path, we don't actually want it to have any fill, so it's just going to be there as a path. So that is path 0. We could rename it. I'm not going to bother. We'll just remember that that is called path 0. Then I will go back again here, and we will select our second mech here. And you're going to notice transform effects. I can come down here and say auto follow path effect, like so. And then I'm just going to say follow a path. And then I could say, okay, which path? I come down here and I say, okay, that's path 0. And then here you can see the result. So we go from 0 to 1. And that's as easy as it is to set it up again. Once again, just come up here, set a keyframe. So for this is mech selected here. At keyframe 0, I'm going to set this one here. So 0 completion. At frame 100, I'll come down here. So frame 100, and then we will set completion to 1, like so. And we're also going to say, okay, go ahead and rotate while you're doing that, and it's length-based. So now, as we scroll across here, we will see, we follow around the world. And that is how easy it is to do animation. By the way, if you do not want him rotating as he goes, you can have it left flat, and then like so. And then another thing that we might want to do, for example, here, is I could come here to select this guy, and then I'm going to go here, and I could do I want to do a effect on this one, a raster effect, and let's do motion blur as he goes. So as that guy moves along, we are now going to have a motion blur effect, which, by the way, you can control over here the amount of motion blur that happens. Or another one we could have done, let's go here and select our first mech, so mech 0, and then we can do here raster effects, and we're going to go ahead and add just a static shadow. And boom, immediately you see the shadowing result. And then here is our final creation, which is a thing of absolute beauty. It's a masterpiece, I have to say. I don't think I could have done a better animation in a shorter period of time. And at this point in time, you can export that out, and you can render it out for web, SVG, a variety of, so you could do it as a number of different keyframes, or you can create a movie out of this, or you can create a web animation out of your results. So that is my very ugly hands-on example of what Friction is all about. Obviously, I'm showing you a very small amount of the tools here. There's a number more you can do in terms of the way animations work, filling works, in terms of drawing shapes and so on, but you get a gist of what this program is all about. So once again, it is available at friction.graphics if you want to go ahead and check that one out. And I do have to say, the upcoming 1.0 release, you can download the other one too if you come in here to downloads. If you go ahead and get this one, the production version, and then you try out the development version, you're going to say night and day. It's just, this upcoming 1.0 release is going to be a much bigger step forward. So they even recommend it right here. So there's been a lot of delays. Make sure that you use that one. There's a lot of improvements to this particular version. So if you do check this one out, use this version right here. Once again, it is available for Windows, Linux, and Mac OS. Cool thing here is they've also got the portable version, so you just extract the zip out and run the executable, and that's all you need to do. So if you're interested, Friction is an open source project. It is under the GPL v3 license. Now, I said this one may seem familiar to you. Well, that is because this is actually a fork of a program called Enve. The thing about Enve is, and I did a video about Enve. Enve is a very, well, it's what Friction's based on. So what you saw here, this was basically under development years ago. The problem is, look at this, 4 years ago. Source code has not been updated on this branch in 4 years. So the guy a couple years ago decided he wanted Enve to keep going, and the Enve developer seemed to have stopped developing it. So that is where Friction came about. So Friction is a fork of Enve, but since then they've updated the user interface, made it a different program. It's based off of Enve, but it's honestly, from my experiences, just a better program. And nice thing here is it is still under active development, unlike Enve. If you do like what he's doing here, do drop him a star. Now, if you're interested, this isn't the only option in this space. Another one that you have out there is Synfig. This is a 2D animation software. A little bit of a different focus on what it's doing. And then we got Natron, a node-based animation tool. I don't know if I've ever actually gone hands-on with Natron. If not, I may have to cover that in an upcoming video. And then we've also got Rive. This is commercial software, however, but it is probably the most direct competitor in this space, especially to like Adobe Animate, I would say at this point in time. And then we have Cavalry, which is a compound of it's got a free version, and then as you need more functionality, there are commercial upgrades or costs. And if you're interested in learning about Adobe alternatives, I have covered a number of them, and we can now add one more to this particular list, and that, again, is Friction. And so Friction, a very interesting program. I highly recommend if you're into animation, go ahead and check it out. Again, it is completely free. And the nice thing is it is now under active development again, which is, of course, a big deal for projects. And one of those things, cool things about open source is, again, this project was seemingly dead. This Enve project was pretty much gone. But then someone picked it up, started a new community. They've got a number of contributors to it. Things are going well here, which is very nice. Actually, where are the contributors? Anyways, doesn't really matter. As you can see here, this is very actively under development. And again, if you do check it out, make sure that you use the development version, not the stable version. And hopefully that final release, that 1.0 release, does come very soon because, like we said, we're at release candidate 3 at this point in time. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is Friction. Let me know what you think. Comments down below. I will talk to you all later. Goodbye.